Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Market Carver. I'm Joe Clark, Managing Partner of the Financial Enhancement Group. Happy to have you along this week. I hope you're enjoying the wonderful news out of the world. Cyprus was the excitement over the weekend. In case you don't know it, Cyprus is a very, very small country divided into two parts. One part not recognized by the EU, where the Turks are. The other part, primarily Greek in nature, in the middle of the Met. Real problem that we have here is that, well, Cyprus, which had done okay, better than most of the EU, in fact, since 2008, got into a little bit of mischief by investing in Greek debt. And as the Greek debt went bad, they had problems. And all of a sudden, the bank deposits started to go. You mix in a little bit of the Russian mob and some of the oligarchs from Russia that are putting money inside of Cyprus, kind of like our Cayman Islands, if you will, viewed that way in that part of the world. And now you've got a real pickle. And suddenly, over the weekend, Cyprus decides, hey, we're going to tax people with 100,000 euros or less in banks. Consider like our FDIC and deposits. We're going to tax them 6.75% on their money if they've got less than 100,000 euros, a little over 9% if you've got more than that. So you can imagine the outrage from the people, the communities, the economies. Very, very scary stuff. The real concern, Cyprus is small. It's got less than most of the American cities, the larger cities' economy. It's not a major GDP producer. What's interesting is the IMF and the EU apparently signed off on this deal before it came out. And that has great deals of concerns for many people around the world. Will we start to see bank runs? Because we're clearly seeing those on the ATMs at Cyprus. Will we see those bank runs in Italy, the bank runs in Italy and Spain and other challenged economies? We sure hope not, but Lord knows we're on the watch for it. And it's interesting, the pundits you talk to, some say this doesn't matter at all. Some say very, very clearly this is important. Well, nonetheless, I'm the managing partner of the Financial Enhancement Group. We take care of people who don't want to worry about their money, and we do that with smart, tax-savvy investment strategies using a process called the four-legged stool. We always try to run you every week through part of that process. Thought it was interesting to bring up on the fundamental leg Alan Greenspan, the old Federal Reserve chairman, the one who once upon a time said irrational exuberance, the same guy who said they had nothing to do with the value of mortgages going up under his tenure, is now saying that stocks are cheap based on equity value and the comparison value. He's looking at life going, hey, there's some companies out there that are doing real well, and really doesn't even want to give much of the credit for the stock appreciation to the Federal Reserve. We would say, Mr. Greenspan, stocks may or may not be cheap. Certainly there's some that are overvalued, and there's some out there that we think are a reasonable deal. But to not give the Federal Reserve credit for the price appreciation by putting all the money in the system, it might be just a wee bit of a stretch in our opinion. The second leg that we look at is a technical leg. It's just measuring money flow. A lot of people ask us about China, part of the international world. Let's just say the chart kind of tells the story. And if you look at the bottom part of that, you can see as the line is going down that the U.S. large cap equities are outperforming the emerging markets. A big part of that has to do with currency. Currency is one of those issues that I think American investors probably understand less than most of our counterparts in Europe. It's simply because you can go an awful lot of places in the United States. We use the same greenback. In Europe, remember, a shorter term trip, and you used to have gone through 3 or 4 different currencies just to make it. I thought on the story leg I would throw this in. It's my job primarily on the allocation team to look at the polka dots, to try to connect things that are going on. I had an interesting conversation with a good friend from California this week. LinkedIn is really making headway in a lot of directions. When you look at the IPO prices, it's the only one of the social media ones that I know of that's actually gone up above its price. Interestingly enough, it's surrounded by Google buildings when you look at it. It's making a lot of people wonder if LinkedIn is not just a proxy for Google to be able to gather some of the business data. I use LinkedIn. You can find me at Big Joe Clark. I use it for business. A lot of people are connected to me for that. It's an interesting way to be able to report what's going on, and it may have a flair of Google involved for sure. I want to remind you about the Family Focus Page workshops in Lafayette coming up next week. That's March 26th and 28th, Tuesday and Thursday night. It is a 2-night workshop. I've essentially taken the information that I teach to Purdue, the 5 critical elements that I work with my client base on, and distill them down into important concepts that you can think about to give you a framework of understanding for 2 nights. It's for the young, it's for people who are retired. It really is an educational night. There's no dinner. It's coffee and water and pop. and we're just sharing our knowledge. Happy to have you there, and if there's something we can do to be of service, more than happy to have you along. If you're out on Saturday morning, don't forget to catch the radio show, 9 to 10 on WQME, Saturday morning. Sunday mornings, 10 to 11 on Shine 99, and of course you can find the newspaper column on our website at yourlifeafterwork.com. If there's anything we can do to be of service, please don't hesitate to let us know. God bless, have a great week. We'll see you again soon.